Peace, peace. Welcome to another episode of the Parry. We don't pull, duck no goddamn punches. Parry is fundamental to boxing. I am your host, Bomani UFG.
And I am the pragmatic Che Black.
And we would like to welcome everybody back to the Parry. Before we get started, I'm going to ask everybody to please go ahead and jab that like button. You know what I'm saying? Uppercut that subscribe button. Lead hook that share button, man. Go ahead and toss a combination at that bell notification. Or that rhyme, that was bars. You know what I'm saying? You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, at the Parry 101, TikTok at the dot Parry dot 101. Uh, we got our own private Facebook group, and my co-host dropped out for some reason. But today we're here to talk about Devin Haney, man, who seems like he on a quest for greatness. I'm not gonna say he seems like he's definitely by the moves he's making uh, out there daring to be great, as they say. We also going to discuss the Ryan Garcia, Oscar Duarte fight and what's next for Ryan Garcia, as well as some other boxing news, man. But just to kind of get started on the Devin Haney part of this thing, man. Man, I mean, for those who know me, man, know I'm a huge fan of Devin. To be honest, other than probably Bud Crawford, he's probably my favorite fighter. Like I'm a fan of the sweet science. So I pay attention to things that, a casual fan probably wouldn't appreciate or even care about when it comes to the sport. I like the way, or I appreciate the way fighters carry themselves as men and as warriors in and out the ring. The little details of the sport and the sweet science when it comes to like footwork and effective ring generalship and the jab and combination punch and speed, defense, counter punching, and the way they go about handling their business, how they train and how serious they take their training, um, the way they interview, you know what I mean, the people they have around them. These are all the things that I consider when it comes to fighters that I appreciate and become fans of. Devin Haney, for me, uh, is the epitome of a warrior in my opinion, which is why I put him high on my list. I am a very big fan of Regis Prograis as well because he's another one that um, I just appreciate just the way he go about handling his business in and out the ring. Um, but Devin Haney as well as Bill Haney got a lot of respect for. Um, and for Devin to be so young, 24, 25 years old, and to be doing the things he's doing and attempting to do some of the things he's doing, I think seems like he's definitely on course for greatness. I think he already has a Hall of Fame career, being the youngest undisputed champion in the history of the sport, uh, going all the way over to Australia twice, uh, once as the challenger and then as the champion, probably getting the lower half or the lower end of the purse and having to take the title, then go back to Australia, defend the title. Um, then after conquering that division, defending his undisputed championship twice. Last time he did that was against Vasil Lomachenko. Um, my man, Shea Black. There you go. Um, having to defend his title against uh, Vasily Lomachenko, which is one of the all-time greats of the sport, winning by a very close decision. Then moving up to 140, not taking a soft touch, as they say, pause. You know what I'm saying? Going right up there and probably fighting the most man in the division when it comes to at least power punching. Him and Matthias anyway. But going up to 140, not taking a soft touch, fighting the WBC champion and Regis Prograis, and even looking past that, which this could be a mistake, or it just could be he that confident in himself. Looking past the Prograis fight and wanting to go up to 147 and challenge a fighter like Mario Barrios, who just we just all saw him beat the brakes off Dennis Ugas, who was no walk in the park. Um, and calling out the former unified champion at 147 and Keith one-time Thurman. I think these is big aspirations for a young champion to be moving up again to his third weight class, trying to fight for another title and not trying to take soft touch. I mean, he could be trying to go up there and try to fight Boots, but maybe he's not ready for that. I'm just saying, don't go against the best in the division. You know what I'm saying? But he's going up there to fight one
What
or at least a
division is
couple of the
Boots the
best.
best in?
Well, if Terrence Crawford is the best at welterweight, but at Crawford, man, I mean, I think, all right, maybe Spence, but Spence moved up to 154, I believe. So it got to be Boots, no?
I can see that then if we're taking if Spence did say that he was leaving the 147-pound division, and if there's no more Crawford, then I guess that would leave Boots. But
Boots, Virgil Ortiz moved up.
that's the way to do it though. When Sugar Shane moved up the welterweight, he went right after De La Hoya. He went after who they was claiming was the number one guy in the division at the time. You know, if you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it.
But let's talk about Devin Haney real quick, man. On his quest for greatness, what you say? What you think?
Well, I mean, first of all, he reminds me of Marvin Hagler in the way he got it, the way he got to where he's at in the position he put himself in. If you remember Marvin Hagler, he had to go over to Italy to win the title, you
Right.
know, and with no fanfare. And then when he came back, he still had to grit it, grind it out and continue beating top contender after top contender until it was an undeniable fact that he was now the man to beat. And looking at Haney, I mean, Haney, he comes, he had the three kings. And out of the three kings, Haney was at the bottom. He was the third man out, He was the odd man out. And within a matter of 2 years, he's put himself in a position where he is now the man to beat between the three of them. He has the best resume. He has the most accolades. He's done the most. He's proven himself more than they have with the test that he's taken. He's been willing to take the smaller paychecks, go to your hometown if he has to. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of my favorite fighter of all time, which is Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Does he beat the other two of the three kings? I
It's
don't know.
actually
That's
exactly
just to be
exactly
seen.
four kings. It's actually four kings. Right? Remember when he first started marketing this thing, this idea, or promoting this idea of these four kings. It was Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, and Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, like I said, there's three kings. You know, I'm just
Nah,
gonna
you
put it
can't. You
out there
can't
like
do it.
that.
Nah, we're not gonna do that. We can't discount Teofimo, man.
It's not disrespect to Teofimo Lopez, but if you honestly think that Teofimo Lopez is in the same class as these three fighters, I don't see that. I don't.
Hold up. Whoa. Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you really want to be honest, and we want to look at resumes, he might have the best. Arguably, him and Haney.
What is
He beat Richard.
Teofimo Lopez
He
record?
beat Richard Comey for the IBF strap, I believe. He beat Richard Comey. Then he goes and he fights Lomachenko, beats him, moves up in weight, and he fights Josh Taylor, the undisputed champion at 140. Beats him. Like, you can't. Nah, we're not gonna do that.
What's his record?
Teofimo, he
Yeah, what's
got
his
he
record?
got he got he got one loss. Let's look it up.
Nah, I know his record. I'm just saying he got that stripe against him. He's out of that sweepstakes. We're talking about
Cause he
three
got a
undefeated,
loss. Cause
unbeaten.
he lost
That's
he
not
lost to
nah, nah, nah.
Vasily
What I'm saying is
Lomachenko.
he could get himself back
I
in it.
mean,
But
Kambosa, sorry.
what I'm trying to say is this though. He's not all right. You can keep him in there. I'm not. To me, he's not one of the three.
I don't I
The
don't
three
I
top dogs
look.
is them three. I'm not gonna be. You can have your opinion at mine. I don't want to argue with it, but like these guys
I'm
is
just saying.
undefeated. They have not
I'm just
tasted
saying.
loss at all yet.
I'm just saying. As far as what they was promoting in regards to,
Cambosis is not
it was
he's a
it was
good
four. I'm
fighter.
just saying it
That's it.
wasn't three kings. It was four kings in
I
regards
know,
to when they was
but
all undefeated.
right now we're talking. But one of them got knocked off, so it's three left. It's the three standing right now.
But he's also argued probably the undisputed champion, not undisputed, but he could make the claim of undisputed champion at 140 right now
Yeah,
against a man
I
who beat
really
Regis Prograis.
Yeah,
I just think I don't think one loss, cause and you know, considering what he was saying in regards to why he lost. Now, you know,
I don't want to hear no excuses. You lost.
I
That's
mean,
it.
you
The
you
better
can make
man
excuses,
wins.
but
The
the
better
man was
man
in the
wins in a
hospital,
fight.
man. After the like, he had some shoulder situation going on. Like, who knows? All I'm saying is, you can't discount him because he had one
I'm
loss,
not
bro. That's
discounting him,
not
but
part of the
he's not
sport,
in
man.
that. But he's not in that reign though. He's not with them three. I didn't discount him as a good fighter.
He got to fight them though. That's the thing. They all got to fight still. Tiafimo was still a name in the sport, and he still
I'm
could.
not denying none of that. I'm not denying nothing you're saying. Only thing I'm
Okay,
saying is he's not one of them three. He's not in there. He's not. His name doesn't belong with them three. Those are the three top. He's behind them.
okay, okay. All right. Well let's look at it. Well, let's look at it. And I would like to, before we, like, you know, I'm glad we even get into this, because you know what I'm saying. I do want to get back to to Devin Haney, but let's look at it. Let's compare Teofimo Lopez to the other three, to the three kings, as you call it, right? Let's compare
It's
him
not just
to.
me calling them the three kings.
It's
You
four
look it up.
kings.
It's not four kings no more. But go ahead.
Okay, you saying there's no
When
more.
I'm
I'm
on
just
fight
saying that
news, when I'm on fight news, I don't see them say four. They see three now. One is he's no. Go ahead though, man. I don't
hold on,
even
man.
like.
I don't care
It's
about
not. You're
fight
not gonna
news.
change
Parry.
my mind.
This is no, but no, but we're gonna discuss it, because you said he's not, and like, basically not in the conversation. Now, if you basing
I
that
didn't
off
say he's
the
not in the conversation. I said he's not one of them. He's not in. He's not one of those three. The three top. There's three top dogs. Three, not
but
four.
again,
Not
why
four.
why is he not considered one of the top dogs? And
Well,
that
losing
he
the
was once
Cambosis
mentioned.
will do it. Losing the
He was
Cambosis is why.
he was once mentioned amongst the group. Now, what I'm saying is, he still get mentioned when it comes to any of those fighters. His name still comes up when they asked
As an
about potential
opponent.
fights for
As an
any of them.
opponent. As
Right,
an
right.
opponent.
So that's one. Now the
But
next,
his
because
name don't get mentioned as one of the top three no more. Or
how,
one of the
but
top.
how? Yeah, that's
All right.
absolutely false.
Go ahead, man.
How
Make your
could he
state.
not be
Make your claim
mentioned when
because
the
you're
man?
not changing my mind. I stated what
No,
I
I'm
stated.
I'm
So
asking
state.
you. All right. Well,
So
my question is,
present what you want to present.
how could he not be mentioned when he got 3 of the 4 straps? I think he got all of them, really. You know what
I
I'm
know you
saying?
stuck on these alphabet straps, man. I'm
No,
not.
I'm just asking you a question.
I
How
told
could
you
he
already.
not be
I answered
mentioned?
that.
He's
Losing
a
the
two-time.
Cambosis.
He's a
He got knocked
two-time
down.
basic. Hold on. He's a two-time unified champion in 2 divisions. He beat Lomachenko. He beat Josh Taylor for them straps. He's at 140 now. He got most of the straps. At the same time, his name does come up when it comes to fighting either Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Tank Davis, or Shakur. His name comes up, bro. And then the next thing is, if you compare his resume to Tank, to Devin, especially to Shakur, come on. Because of one loss, this is what we doing now?
That ain't
All
what
right, I'm
I'm
not
doing.
changing your
That ain't
mind,
what
but
I'm
I'm just
doing. He
saying, I
lost
just
the
think that's
Cambosis.
ridiculous.
He lost the Cambosis.
And
All right, man.
it was
That's
one,
big
yo,
enough.
he beat
That
Lomachenko. He beat
okay.
Josh Taylor. Fighters have off nights, man. Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas.
Yeah, and
And
Mike Tyson, that diminishes his standings. Losing to Buster Douglas. Like if you don't think that doesn't diminish Mike Tyson's stand, like when you
Mike,
look at Mike Tyson, don't get me wrong. No, everybody would rather be Mike Tyson than Buster Douglas. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not even. And is Mike Tyson is the truth. But bottom line, losing to Buster Douglas, and then when you look at his resume from afar, he lost to all the best fighters he fought.
but he also lost to Buster Douglas.
Yeah, he
Who in
lost
his
to
next
Buster
very next fight,
Douglas.
what happened to him?
Who Buster Douglas?
Yeah,
Yeah, Buster Douglas got knocked out in 3 rounds by Holyfield. So,
right.
like I said, you don't think that you don't. I
So
guess
what
that didn't
happened
mean
next?
nothing to you.
No, what I'm saying is that didn't diminish Mike Tyson's standing in the sport. Still one of the top heavyweights then, and he's still
Yeah,
one
he
of
was
the top
still one of
heavyweights
the top,
now.
but he wasn't the top. He lost the title, and then he fought himself back into the #1 contention spot.
But even after the loss of Buster Douglas, you mean to tell me his name wasn't mentioned amongst the top heavyweights?
You're talking about first of all, Mike Tyson. If you want me to sit here and make No, you could do all that bullshit you want. If you want to sit there and if you want to make Lopez, if you want to make Teofimo Lopez synonymous with Mike Tyson, I'm out of the car right now. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not
Pick me
making
up
it.
when you
No,
double
nah,
back and
man.
get
You
on
know what
something
I'm
real.
saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. Ain't nobody comparing him to Mike Tyson in that regard.
That's
What I'm
exactly
saying
what you
is
just did. You compared.
one loss. No, let me finish. One loss against who some would consider you ain't supposed to be losing to, don't diminish your standing in the sport. Is my point. He lost to Buster Douglas, but he was still. People don't talk about Buster Douglas like he was better than Mike Tyson. What have George
I stated
Kambosos
that
done
early.
since? What
I
have
stated
George
that early.
Kambosos done since? Got his ass whooped twice after that. What
Exactly.
happened to
So
What has Teofimo done after he lost to George
did
Kambosos?
Teofimo fight? Did Teofimo fight Cambosis again? No. Did he go through the proper channels and go like Mike Tyson did not do? Did he do what he was supposed to do and beat the man that beat him? Come on, man. I'm not gonna go.
Hold up.
I'm tired of going back and forth
But
with this already.
that's not even my point. I'm talking about him being mentioned amongst the fighters that you
So
mentioning. You
do we
saying
know
he's
he
not
can
even
beat
worth mentioning.
Cambosis? Do we know? I didn't say he wasn't worth mentioning. Now you,
That's what you
no, I
you
didn't. I
said.
said he's not in those three. He's not in the same category as he's not one of the kings no more.
How? And I'm saying how?
Told you
How is
how.
he
He
not?
lost to Cambosis. You might not accept that. Him losing to Cambosis takes him
Well,
out of the three kings. Can he fight
here's a
his way
better
back
question.
in? Yes. But wait a minute. Hold on. He has not
Good.
proven he can beat Cambosis though.
Here's a better question. Who has Shakur beat to even be mentioned amongst the same as Devin Haney or Tank Davis?
We all know that Shakur has been placed in there based off of what we see his ability and his potential. Shakur has not completely proven himself in that. Matter of fact, Shakur has not proven himself in the ring against competition. He's only shown his skill set. But
So
he has
who's more
also. But
proven?
wait a minute. But he also has not took an L either. So
Okay, because
you.
he ain't
So
fight
wait a
nobody that was
minute.
even
I
worthy.
finished my damn point. He
Go ahead.
also. You also have to give him the benefit of the doubt from what we have seen from him and from his amateur career. Like if you don't give Shakur Stevenson the benefit of the doubt, then I mean,
Teofimo
I
also
don't
had
know
a
what you're
pretty good
looking at.
amateur
When I
career.
look at Shakur,
What?
wait a minute, when I look at Shakur and I look at Teofimo, I don't see the same skill set when I look at them from the eye test.
Okay, so let me ask you a question now, because again, we back to the conversation and who belongs in this conversation. You
Man,
just
I'm done
said, hold on. No, listen. You just
because I
said
made my point and you
you
can
now
continue to go on.
listen.
You're not
You
changing
making
my
your
mind.
point, but I'm not changing. Look, I'm countering your point. I want the people to talk. So what I'm asking you is, if Shakur, who you just admittedly just said he hasn't proven himself amongst the competition, Teofimo Lopez has fought way better competition and beaten better competition than Shakur has fought. So why is it that Shakur, is it just basically off the eye test you putting
Yo,
Shakur in the
Teofimo Lopez
conversation?
ain't beat nobody, man.
He, all right, I'm done. Go
Man.
ahead,
Oh,
talk, man. Go
Lomachenko.
ahead.
Y'all basing a lot. Y'all put Lomachenko very high up there.
Hold up. Lomachenko wasn't the champion? He wasn't
Yeah,
one
he
of the
was a
best in the
champ.
division?
Yeah, he was a
Right.
champ.
Richard Coleman wasn't a champion? One of the best
I'm
in the
gonna tell you right
division?
now. Tank beats Lomachenko. Shakur beats Lomachenko. Haney already beat Lomachenko.
Shakur hasn't, that's not my point. Well, see, when you're talking about what Tank would do or what Shakur would do, we don't know. He ain't fought them. Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez has fought these guys and beat them. We don't know what Shakur would do
Okay.
against Lomachenko because he never fought him. He hasn't even fought anybody in that same class as Lomachenko. Nobody even on that level.
What
And
happened
I'm
when
not
Shakur called out
disrespecting Shakur
Lomachenko?
Stevenson.
What happened when Shakur called out Lomachenko?
Lomachenko ducked him. No
All right.
question. Just like he
All
ducked
right.
Haney.
All right then.
But it's also levels of competition. Shakur hasn't been in there with that level of competition yet. Not even on that, not even
Not in the
close.
professional rank. Not as a professional fighter, but he's been in the ring with the best of them. Shakur Stevenson
We
has
ain't talking
been
about
inside of the
sparring.
ring with. All right, man. I'm done, yo. I'm done. Like you're not changing my mind. Like I said,
I'm asking,
him losing to Cambosis, he's no longer in that class. Now, if you go type in the three kings, guess what's gonna come up? 3 fighters. If I type in that right now, I can't use my phone right now, but if I typed it in my phone right now, I guarantee you it's not gonna come up and say this fourth nigga no more. He's out of that. It's gonna say 3 kings. That's what they call them. I was just watching one of them fights the other day, and they talked about the 3 kings. You know why? Because there's 3 kings left. Because neither one of them have gotten knocked off yet.
But first of all, when I type in 3 kings, it's really 4 kings, like I said, and that don't have nothing to do with none of these guys. So let me try another search. Because it's the 4 kings, and it's always been
And
the 4 kings.
the 4 kings is that the 4 kings are the real kings.
But what I'm saying is, it's always been the
What I'm
4
saying is,
kings.
what's up with Devin Haney and his quest for greatness? Because
Talk about it.
Teofimo Lopez, he's good, and he has a chance to come back and be great. I don't even deny that about him. But right now, I wouldn't put him there. You could put him there. That's fine with me. Uh, Devin Haney though, Devin Haney right now, he really seems like he's on a quest for greatness right now. The fact that I don't like the fact that he's looking past Prograis. However, I'm gonna be honest. You can't really conventional wisdom has to tell you that he's gonna defeat this guy. The best guy Prograis fought, he lost to.
Now, I just looked it up. When I type in 3 kings, I don't get nothing. When I type in 4 kings, though, you know the first picture to pop up? I'm not even gonna mention his name. We're just gonna keep moving on. We're gonna talk about Devin Haney. I'm not even gonna mention his name. But I said what I said, and I stand on it. But go ahead.
I know Lopez don't come up.
Absolutely, he does. I can share the screen with you right now.
Man,
If that's what you want me to do. I'm trying to spare you right now.
You want a Mexican
I'm
site
trying
right
to.
now.
No,
You want a
I'm trying.
Mexican site right now. I mean, I don't care what that say.
I'm trying to spare you right now.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
trying to. I'm
We'll
trying to
get
make
back.
you.
Don't
I'm trying to help
spare
you
me.
save
Don't
face.
spare me. I don't
I'm
need
trying
to
to
save
help you
face.
save face right now
I
because
don't
me
need
and
to
Parry
save
work
face.
together, brother. We work together, and I'm not up here trying to embarrass you. You know what I'm saying?
Can't
Trying to
embarrass
make
me.
you look good, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
I
go ahead.
said, there's no reason why that man can't be mentioned amongst these other fighters and why he shouldn't be because he is, which is why his name always comes up as potential opponents for all these guys. You know why? Because he's a unified champion at 140.
He's a great test.
He's a unified champion at 140. You got to
You
put some
know,
respect on his name, bro.
look at Andre. Look at Andre, right? That's Teofimo like they're almost in the same class. Andre is a world class fighter, but I tell you
I
what
would put
Andre,
Shakur in that. I would put
but
Shakur in that. In
but I
that
tell you
as
what
Andre.
Andre ain't doing. He's not beating any special fighters.
I would put Andre and Shakur more in comparison. 2 Olympians, right? 2 fighters who, based off the eye test, has been mentioned amongst the greats, but based off resume, ain't nobody on that resume.
Andre lost.
Yeah, now Shakur,
Shakur is
a
undefeated.
loss could be
So
in the
at
future.
this
Who
moment,
knows?
it could be, but at this very moment, right now, Andre has lost, and the only way back for him is through Benavidez. That's it. That's it. The only way back for Andre is through Benavidez.
Peace to the brother Raheem Shabazz. Why
You
for Dome
understand what I'm
TV? Peace,
saying?
y'all.
But hold on. The only way is through Benavidez. That's it. And outside of that, Andre will probably, he'll probably, and I'm not saying this for sure, 'cause I don't know, he might come back with a new trainer, or he might come back re-inspired, or maybe he'll discover Islam and Allah will help him get back to where I don't know. Maybe he'll, be born again. I don't know. But what I do know is most likely he'll probably end up, like I said the other night, like a Obakar. He'll probably end up like a Obakar. And with that said, um, Obakar was one of them fighters that you had to be special to beat. You had to be a De
Right.
La Hoya. You had to be a Trinidad, or you had to be a Corte, because everybody else was getting mopped.
I can see that. But
And
Devin Haney.
Teofimo Lopez is closer to me to Andre than that. Now
Ugh.
now if he beats one of his contemporaries after losing to Cambosis, I can't believe that he'll beat Haney, Tank, or Shakur. I'm
Hold
sorry,
up.
that's just my
But
opinion.
okay, I'm not discussing about who we believe Teofimo would or could be. I'm talking about what he's done in the sport. You compare
I'm
Andrade.
talking about
Hold
what
on,
he's
hold on,
done in the
hold on,
sport.
hold on,
I'm
hold on,
talking
hold on,
about
hold
what he
on,
did in the sport.
hold on. Andrade has in his first step up in real competition. And then mind you, he got ducked by like the likes of Triple G and Charlos
You watched the
and
fight though, right?
Canelo.
You watched the
Hold
fight, right?
on, let me finish. What I'm saying is, Andrade first real test and step up in competition, he got dog walk. No disrespect. Teofimo Lopez lost one fight, but has beaten when he stepped up against real competition, has came out victorious. That's not the same thing as Andrade, bro. It's just not. The only thing they got in common is one loss. That's it. I think you being a little bit. I think you discredit him just a little bit, bro.
I
You know what I'm
didn't
saying?
say that he. What I'm saying is this: it most like it's a big possibility that's how it could go. He could end up to me. When I think of Lopez, I think of a fighter like Obakar. When I think of Andre at this moment, I think of a fighter like and Andre. I'm saying putting Andre in Obakar category might be generous. To be honest with you, I don't know. We'd have to see. We have to see what he continues to do and who he continues to beat or loses to. I personally, from what I've seen from Lopez, I don't see him beating the top guys. I don't see him beating the cream of the crop.
But he already has. That's what I'm saying. He's beaten some of the top guys already, just not the guys he came into the sport with that everybody want to see. None of them have fought each other yet.
I
None
agree.
of them,
None of them have fought each other.
except for Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. So he picked a low hanging fruit. Pause. Like he picked the Tank fought the one that was they all probably could beat. If you're
Low
being honest.
hanging fruit is a pause. Go
Listen,
ahead
man,
though.
we not listen, man. Look past
I
that.
just
Don't
go
worry
ahead.
about
Just
it.
go ahead, man. Just go ahead, man.
Look, like they Tank fought the one that I would favor each one of them against Ryan. And I don't no disrespect to Ryan Garcia. I would against Teofimo, against Devin Haney, against Shakur Stevenson, and against Tank Davis. I would favor them all over Ryan Garcia.
I would have favored them all too, even before they fought.
To me, a Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson fight, or a Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney fight, or Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis fight even. Is way more competitive than Ryan Garcia. Would I favor them fighters over him? Yeah, more likely. But I'm not gonna just. I wouldn't bet the house on. I would maybe against. I think him to be a real good fight, but I think Devin Haney and Shakur will probably be a real serious problem for TFE. To be honest, because style, like I think Teofimo
Hey, listen, if
would
they
he would.
fight, I got whatever on Shakur or Haney against Lopez. If they fight, just so you know.
I think I
Go
think
ahead,
I think I
continue.
think it'd be competitive than Ryan, but I would favor him as well. Him and Tank, I think it'd be a little
He's
bit
a
more
better
competitive.
fighter than Ryan. He's a better fighter
Yeah,
than Garcia.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He also way more. He's more accomplished than Tank Davis, and then Shakur Stevenson. Shit, maybe even more than Devin Haney. Devin Haney got the undisputed at 135, but arguably, some people say Teofimo was undisputed at 135 too. Some people say he wasn't. I say he wasn't, but he was a unified champion at 135, and now he's a unified champion at 140. Got 3 belts. Can't take that away from the man. The man is a worthy. He's worthy of being mentioned in my opinion. But
Listen,
back to Devin
Andrade is a
Haney.
world beater. Andrade is a world beater.
Andre,
Andrade is a world beater. He was a world class fighter. That's what I should say. I meant to say Andrade is a world class fighter. However,
yes.
the way his future looks, most likely he'll end up a gatekeeper.
But you also got to consider his past too, in the sense of okay, we was really going off the eye test, if we're being honest, when it came to Andre. We was going off the eye test,
Of course.
right? Right. Because his resume didn't speak to the level that we put him on. It was like, yo, we believe he's good enough to fight and even beat a Canelo or beat a Triple G, beat one of the Charlo brothers, if not both of them. This is where we believed he was at, based off what we were seeing. The same can be said for Shakur Stevenson. He can beat Devin. He can beat Tank. He can beat this one or that one based off what we've been seeing. But there are some fighters who have been tested, who has fought some of the best fighters in the world, like a Devin Haney, like a Teofimo Lopez, who I just think we can't put them in the same. You going strictly off the eye test when it comes to Shakur Stevenson in this conversation,
I'm
and
not
that's
just
okay.
going off the eye test. I'm also going off the amateur career.
But they
I'm
all
also going.
pros.
I understand that, but I'm going off of following his career as an amateur, coming into pro, the 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 the, the fighters he's been around, the fighters he's fought, the people who have mentioned him, mentioned his skills, the other professionals who have spoken about him. So it's more than just the eye test. However, has he actually been in the fight to show and prove? No.
Well, that's the name of the game. We in the show and prove business when it comes to boxing. That's the name of the game.
He will have his time. But we're
Now,
not in the
Devin
era
Haney,
no more. We're not in the era no more where fighters are quick to jump in the ring with each other and risk their undefeated record. We're still in the what they call the Mayweather era. And the Mayweather era is protecting your laws, protecting your donut.
yo, I think we've been a little bit running, running a little bit go off topic. Let's get back to the Devin Haney thing. I want to share something real quick. Mike Coppinger tweeted, undisputed lightweight champ Devin Haney tells ESPN he is vacating all 4 lightweight titles ahead of his December 9th junior welterweight title fight versus Regis Prograis. And after this fight, I look to be, this is a quote, and after this fight, I look to become a 3 division champion and move up to 147.
That's how you chase greatness. That's some dangerous waters, though. That's dangerous waters for him. I know he's calling out. He's calling out um, Keith Thurman, which, like I said, those are some dangerous waters for him to be swimming in. Not forgetting that we've only seen Keith Thurman lose one fight, and
Right.
that was to a legend.
And Mario Barrios, who Keith Thurman has beat already. Um, he's also calling him out. And Mario Barrios in his last fight against Ugas looked impressive. He looked like one tough SOB. So I think no matter which way you slice it, um, Devin Haney moving up to 147 after fighting a power puncher like Regis Prograis. It's a hell of a that's some ambition for you, man. Um,
Is he looking past Prograis though, talking like this?
Good
Because it
question.
appears to be. It appears to be that he's looking past Prograis. I mean, Prograis and his confidence, it almost seems unreal to me with the confidence level that Prograis has been seeming. I don't know if he's really that confident or if he's hyping himself up. If he's trying to hype himself up and try to play mind games with Haney,
Or
which
try to
I
play
don't think.
mind games with himself. Yeah, his confidence to me don't look like Devin looks confident. Devin
Indeed.
looks like how an undisputed champion moving up to fight anybody would feel and should be looking and talking like, yeah, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Regis is talking it. He's making his videos and his trainer, forgot my man named Tobler, I think his name is. Shout out to him. Um, he he doing a lot of talking for Regis. You know what I'm saying? Regis is talking though, but even when the face off and when he said when he said to Devin like, man, I can't even look you in your eye like I don't know, man. Like that, the confidence just don't seem like it's real. It just feels like he's trying to hype himself up, like you said. But I can't say it enough. I'm a huge fan of Regis. I just think he knows what he about to have to deal with, and that's somebody who's an excellent boxer. He may not have the power to keep Regis off him the way he probably would want to, but who knows,
Right.
man? He's moving up too, and Devin looks paused. He looks huge. So I'm anticipating a great fight. I can't wait for us to we will be doing a live fight party if everything goes according to plan. We'll be doing a live fight party for that fight. I'm super hyped for that fight. But let me yeah, like we mentioned, he called out Keith Thurman. So Nestor Gibbs on the boxing voice he's tight with Keith Thurman and that whole crew. So he sent a text message to Keith trying to get him on the show. I was actually listening live to that show. I remember he was trying to get him live on the show. Bill Haney was there live on the show, and this was his response to Nestor Gibbs of the Boxing Voice. Shout out to Nestor Gibbs and the Boxing Voice and Ring Walk Danny and that whole crew, man. Um, he says this is what he texts. This is what Nestor text to Keith. Keith, I have Bill Haney on the show trying to invite you to the Devin Haney fight. He says his response was, "I'll take the fight next year. Send the contract. Haney is a great boxer, no power, great speed. I saw Haney at the casino with his crew, enjoying themselves. Spence versus Crawford. I guess he was sizing me up. Just win. Be impressive and be careful. What you wish for, you just might get it. I love a good fight and doing big things in boxing. Haney is a big name right now. These guys don't like staying in their lane these days. Must not want Tank or Stevenson, but wants a big fight with a bigger man. Respect. Wish I could take up your invitation, but don't have time to fly out to the West Coast for the weekend. I'll tune into the show and maybe put up a few tweets. Don't get beat up." This is what Keith Thurman replied to. Now, we've seen Keith Thurman take fights before, right? Respond to him being called out, respond to criticisms from the media in regards to him either ducking fighters or appeared to not want to fight certain fighters, and he always knows what to say, right? He always responds in a way that is like, "Man, I'm not afraid of this guy. I'll fight this guy. I'm Keith Thurman." Keith's very charismatic and he's very animated when he speaks in his interviews and when he's responding to these tough questions. My question to you, is this cap? Is he capping? Or is he willing to fight Devin Haney? Again, I haven't seen Keith in the ring in some time. Who knows what the reason is for that? I know he's been training. He looks like he's in good shape at the moment, but
I
he's been
don't
out the
think it's
ring for a
cap.
few years.
I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's cap. I think Keith is looking for a big fight. He's looking to make himself relevant again. He's looking to put himself back in that sweepstakes. At one point in time, we were looking at Keith Thurman as possibly one of the next big things in boxing, as one of the fighters that can possibly carry the sport. Maybe not by itself, but one of the top in the sport at one point in time. Not that he ever was, but there was a time when we were looking, saying that's a big possibility. You know, uh, since the Pacquiao loss, he's lost a lot of luster. His career, and he's been inactive. His inactivity is really hurting him right now. And the fact
So
that even in some of his biggest victories, like the Garcia fight, that was close, man. That was
yeah.
close. You
So
know,
Devin Haney versus Keith Thurman. Devin Haney versus Mario Barrios potentially at 147. Now, if he beats Regis Prograis, and I'm gonna say it like this: depending on the fashion in which he beats Regis,
indeed,
let's just if he goes out there and he outboxes Regis, which probably most people who favor him anticipate Devin Haney to do, to
indeed,
outbox him, use his jab,
absolutely.
maybe even a straight right to keep him off him, use that footwork and get in and out and not be there to be hit so cleanly by Regis, especially with that power that he got. So most of us anticipate a 12 round decision, but let's say he goes out there and he knocks out Regis Prograis.
If he goes out there and knocks out Regis Prograis, like looking at the him training, looking at him, the guy definitely got his weight up. You know what I'm saying? He definitely looks like he's ready to step up into to fight the bigger guys. With that said, if he knocks him out in this sensational fashion, I still would have to favor Keith Thurman if he goes up into 147 pounds. It's just you're talking a 12-pound difference from where he's at right now. That's huge. Do I think he has a chance? Absolutely. He could possibly outbox him because we still have it all depends on what Keith Thurman really has left. What is Keith Thurman? Is he a shot fighter at this stage? I don't think that there's no reason for him to be shot, you know, Because even in the Pacquiao fight, he never got gunshot throughout the whole fight. He gave it his all to the end of the fight,
And it was a close fight.
and it was a close fight.
He might have, if I mean, I would say minus the knockdown, he might have came back. Like, he might have won that fight if he didn't get
Minus
dropped.
the knockdown, he could have come back and got a draw.
Yeah, I was gonna say a draw, maybe even won the fight, depending on how the last few rounds played out. Like, I feel if Devin Haney, it's one of them situations where I do like Keith Thurman, but I can't stress enough how much of a fan I am of Devin Haney. So it'd be one of them situations where I'll be rooting for Devin Haney, but my boxing mind be saying Keith will probably win that fight. Now, Mario Barrios, that's a very intriguing fight. I would like
Absolutely.
to see, for something in me is telling me I would probably be more entertained by that fight. Mario Barrios versus Devin Haney at 147 will probably be a more entertaining fight. Mario Barrios, somebody who moved up. I think he moved up from 140 or 135. I'm not sure where he started at, but I know he definitely moved up. Um, he fought Tank at 140, I believe. So um, he moved up to 147 to fight Keith Thurman. Stayed at 147. He looks big. He looks strong at this weight. Looks like he finally filled out, in his weight class. He beat the brakes off Ugas. He's a tough guy, man. Good jab,
Right.
tough dude, man. So I think I'll be more entertained by that fight. And I still don't know if I would pick Devin Haney over Mario Barrios at 147. I'm just being honest. I would be rooting for Devin. I would be rooting for, because to me, not just styles make fights, but there's weight classes for a reason, as they say.
Right.
And going up to fight people that are more uh, comfortable at the weight class, done fought the bigger guys already, to go straight from 140 up to fight one of the top guys in the division at 147, I think that's a hell of a task. But if he pulled it off, it'd be one of the greatest accomplishments that we've seen in boxing in some time, man. Considering he will be a 3 division weight champ, because I think they will be fighting for the vacant WBC belt, more than likely.
Right.
And it
Right.
will be a hell of an accomplishment for a 24-year-old, 25-year-old, or whatever age he is at the time. He'd still be one of the youngest fighters to do that. Um, hats off to Devin Haney, man. Like, the kid is really daring to be great, and it's something that the other three, I'm gonna use your term now, the other three kings, they aren't doing. They just
They're
not.
not. I agree. I agree. They stuck on that, wanting to preserve and hold out, and I don't know what they're waiting for. I'm looking at these guys' ages, and when I compare them to fighters like Trinidad, when I compare them to fighters like Pinell, De La Hoya, they all had accomplished so much more at their age than these guys are accomplishing. By 27, we were seeing De La Hoya and Trinidad in the ring with each other.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, at 27. So these guys are coming up on 30 years old. They're on the other side of 25, coming up on 30 years old, and still haven't had definitive fights. Devin Haney, as of right now, his most definitive fight would be Lomachenko. Um, but like we mentioned, it, he's daring to be great, stepping up in this competition. Now it's funny we talk about the weight classes and is he taking on more than he can handle with a fighter like Thurman? I don't know. I mean, I have to favorite Thurman as of right now, but a little big, a, a little great guy will be the big good guy. The problem is when you have a great big guy and a great little guy. You know what I'm saying? Then the size really starts to matter more. But it all depends on how good Haney is. Now Haney is really daring to be great, and he's showing me things that I wasn't expecting from him. He's showing me that he may just be that special fighter. Which for the longest I looked at him and felt like there was just something missing. He just didn't have. There was something that wasn't there that I seen in the other two fighters. However, until the other two fighters decide to fight each other or fight him, we'll never really know. And we have to go with Haney at this point. Now, is Haney good enough? Is Haney better than Thurman? That becomes a question because when you look at resumes, if they were in the same weight class, was just hypothetically speaking, Thurman would have the better resume. Even in the weight classes, the separate, Thurman has fought fighters. So you have to look at Thurman as not just a bigger fighter, but you have to look at the level of competition that he's faced as better. And that's where the advantage goes to me. That's the main reason why I would have to give Keith one time Thurman the advantage. But other than that, I think Haney is on the brink of really showing us something, and it all depends on if he wins and how he wins. Because he goes out there and he beats Prograis in a lackluster, boring fight, or if it's a controversial fight where a lot of people think he can't have another fight as close as the Lomachenko fight back to back with Prograis, in my opinion. Now, Prograis is not a bad fighter; he's a good fighter, so it could happen. However, you had too many people who either felt that the fight could have been a draw or it could have went the other way. More people didn't think that, but you have enough people that made that fight this so-called a controversial decision. Even when I initially watched the fight, my initial reaction was that Lomachenko won the fight, as well as the people that were watching the fight with me. Their initial reaction. But after watching the fight again, turning down the volume and just looking at the punches, a lot of the punches, Haney's defense is a lot better than I actually thought. He was able to slip punches by just millimeters. Some punches grazed, he was able to pull with the punches, and other punches went off his shoulders and forearms.
I think Devin Haney, man. All right, here's my next question before we move on to the next topic because I gotta get up out of here soon. Um, if Devin Haney moves up to 147, because right now, arguably, I guess depending on what your perspective is, right? People may put this fighter like the Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson, or some people may even put Teofimo Lopez. Even some crazy people may put Ryan Garcia above a fighter like Devin Haney. Now, what I find about Devin Haney is that there are people who just, for whatever reason, just don't like the kid. You know what I mean? Some people say, well, he don't knock nobody out. Like I was arguing with this cat at work the other day, and we arguing back and forth about, and he just don't like Devin Haney. He just
I
don't
mean,
like
that's
him
a
as a
reason
fighter.
though. When you're not giving the exciting fights, when you're not bringing the violence, when you're not bringing the action, when you're not a Pacquiao, when you're not a Trinidad, it's easy not to like you. Even a De La
Now,
Hoya
but
brought
I
action.
mean, I mean,
Winky
I
Wright
mean,
is a
I
perfect
mean,
example. People
I
didn't
mean,
like Winky Wright
I mean,
outside of hardcore
I
fans.
get it, but to me, it seems like it's something different because Shakur don't get that same type of hate. And I will say this, as somebody who is that, I will state like once again, I am a Devin Haney fan. I've seen all of his fights. I've not, I have not seen a fight where I wasn't entertained by him. You know what I'm saying? Either been, it may
Now
not
you
have
fight,
had
but which eyes are you watching that fight with? Like a lot of people
as a
don't
as a
watch it with the
hardcore.
same
Again,
that, and
hold
that's
on,
what I'm
hold on.
saying.
I'm a hardcore boxing fan. I watch it. I appreciate the sport as it is and as it comes. You know what I'm saying? Like I may not be. I'm of course like everybody else. I would rather see a knockout, right? I would rather see a Ward Gaddy, Ivan Robinson Gaddy, Riddick Bowe Holyfield type of fight. I would rather see those type of fights. Those are more entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Just as a fight fan. However, we understand it's a sport. It's like baseball, right? Home runs are that's the those are the highlights. Everybody loves home runs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves
Everyone loves
touchdowns.
the home run
But
hitters.
right. Everybody loves the home run hitters. But there's
Same
so
in
many
boxing.
different hold on, but there's so many different more elements to the sport that you can appreciate if you love the sport, right? There's people who hit for average. There's people who, on base percentage and slugging percentage. And there's a lot of more things that comes along with the sport than just hitting home runs. You know what I'm saying? So in boxing, there's a lot more that comes with boxing than just a knockout. I appreciate the ring generalship, ring IQ, how they using their footwork, defense, slipping punches, parrying, all pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Um, I appreciate the little nuances of the sport, what they doing in the ring, outside the ring, the interviews, the coaching. You know what I'm saying? The training. You know what I'm saying? I listen to what they're saying in the corner, the advice they getting. Is it good advice? Or are they actually doing what the corner man said? Like, even how the ref may get involved in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate everything about the sport. But I will say, watching Devin Haney, I can't say there's been a fight that I watched of his where I wasn't entertained. Now, that last
Well,
Shakur Stevenson fight, that was one of the most boring fights I've ever seen. I was not entertained at all.
I
As
mean,
much as I love the sport. That's all I'm saying. Now, I mean, to each his
I
own
hear
though.
what
It's
you're saying.
everybody,
I
everybody,
hear what you're
everybody
saying.
got their
Wait,
own thing.
you made a point. You're about to make another point now. To the point
No,
that
I
you
ain't make a
just
point
made,
good.
though. I hear what you're saying, but none of that shit translates to ticket sales about what you can appreciate as far as the art inside the art of boxing. I personally can appreciate watching a Pernell Whitaker fight just as much as I can appreciate watching a Tora Gaddy fight. Like I can actually,
Right.
I'm actually entertained by both of those fights. I'm entertained by
Same.
watching the Sweet Science just as much as I'm entertained by a Tora Gaddy Mickey Ward fight. You understand what
Same.
I'm saying? Because I enjoy that. Um, but when it comes to fighters like Winky Wright, when it comes to fighters like Bernard Hopkins, who was craftsman, had great craftsmanship at their trade. It doesn't translate to the ticket sales or the average buyers. You use baseball as an analogy. Well, here's the reality. The home run hitters are the superstars. It's just that simple.
Well,
The exciting fighters are the superstars. What you might be entertained by is what a person who is watching the sport from inside and outside perspective, someone who understands what's actually transpiring in the ring, and someone who is actually recognizing the art that's being displayed. You know, a lot of people who are the
well,
casual fans are never gonna. That's never gonna translate. That's just never gonna
you
translate.
and I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said what you just said because I'm not a casual. We're not casual fans,
I'm not talking about
right?
us.
So
However,
I
we're
know,
not
I
the
know.
ones that make
Hold
these
on, hold on,
fights
hold on, hold
that
on.
that create these pay-per-view
But
breaking numbers. It's not the
but what?
hardcores that create the crazy mass hysteria or who get behind these fighters. It's not the hardcores that make these fighters superstars. So what we appreciate, we have to understand that the reality of it is we are the minority.
No, it's the hardcore fan like us that create platforms like this, right? It's the hardcore fans that appreciate the sport for what it is, regardless of who's selling tickets or what who pay-per-view numbers that keeps
That's
the
without
sport
being said
alive.
though. But we
Hold
know
on,
that.
hold on,
That's without
hold
being
on.
said.
That's we are the fans who keep the sport alive and active because I will turn on a DAZN card between fighters like Mike Conlon and Lee Wood, who
That's
the
not true what you're
casual.
saying though.
Let
What
me
you're
see,
saying
bro.
is
It
not
is
true.
true. Let me. What am I saying? I didn't finish my point. Tell me what I'm saying.
You said that is the hardcores that keep the sport alive. That's not true. The
It,
hardcore fans do not keep the sport alive. This is why stations have stepped away from boxing. This is why PBC is in a predicament they're in right now because they relied on the hardcore fans. You need crossover appeal. Period. Point blank.
no,
You
no,
have
no,
to
no,
have.
no.
You have to have that.
We're saying two different things. You making my point something I'm not saying. When I say to keep the sport alive, I'm not talking about putting asses in seats. I'm not talking about
That's what
networks.
keeps the
I'm
sport
talking.
alive.
Let
Money.
no, because if there's an arena, right? If there's an arena with two fighters fighting as a hardcore, with no cameras in the building, hardcore fans will go and sit their ass in that seat and watch two fighters fight. What I'm saying is there will always be a venue for fighters to fight as long as hardcore fans exist. Now, in regards to networks and what's going to be seen on TV and be broadcasted for millions of people to see and have the opportunity to watch this, that, or the third, yes, the casual fan is who drives the money and the fanfare. But it's
There's
the
not a fight
hardcore
promoter
fan.
that's not thinking about dollars and cents.
I'm not, I'm not,
There's not
I'm
a
not,
boxing
I'm not
arena
saying that. I'm
that's
not
not thinking
saying that.
about the
I'm
bottom
not
line.
saying that. I'm not saying that. But if it was just about
And what are you saying?
if it was just about, but let me finish and I'll tell you. If it was just about asses and seats and dollars and cents, there wouldn't be cards with just hardcore fans would appreciate to go watch. There's a card happening out here not too far from me. That's a fight that's happening in the casino. Showtime ain't gonna be there. No cameras is gonna be in the building. You know who's gonna be in there? Fight fans. And that's what I'm saying. not casual fans, hardcore fight fans that love the sport is going to watch this fight. I don't even know none of these guys on this card. I'm thinking about buying a ticket. You see what I'm saying? These are professional
I
boxers. This
mean,
ain't like amateur
your
fights.
Huru
And
just
that's
took
my
me
point.
to a fight card of the similar with the similar on a similar level. So I get it. Like I get
But
what
that's
you're
all I'm
saying.
saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Is that I don't watch the fight from a casual perspective. I don't care about Showtime, pay-per-view numbers. I personally don't
I
care
feel
about
like
none of
all of
that.
that's without being said though. We're the Parry. So we are the heart and soul. Like what we represent is the heart and soul. But I mean, is it takes more than the heart and soul to create a Mayweather, to create a De La Hoya, to create a Mike
Right,
Tyson.
right. But
And
going back to
unfortunately,
baseball,
unfortunately, if you're not a fighter like Winky Wright should have been a superstar
yeah,
with the skills that
I
he
agree.
had.
I agree. I think
Bernard
Shakur
Hopkins,
Stevenson should be a superstar.
Bernard Hopkins should be on another level. Should have been on another level before he even fought Trinidad. People should have been knowing him and recognizing him for his sheer
I agree.
dominance and how long he was a champion. But I mean, unfortunately, that's just like you got to remember that was his when Trinidad fought. By the time Trinidad and Hopkins fought, Trinidad was making his 14th defense of the title or his 13th defense. Pardon me. He was making his 13th defense of the title, which was record breaking. The record of it was before it was 12 with Carlos Monzon. So
Mm-hmm.
and that's a fight that actually put Hopkins on the map to a broader, wider audience by winning that fight.
I think us hardcore fans, we're the elevator or the escalator that take some of these fighters before they become the Floyd Mayweathers or the Oscar De La Hoyas. We carry them up to that spectrum. I mean, of course, with the aid of promoters and you know networks or what have you. But we're the foundation of the sport, man. You muted. You muted, brother. You muted.
Pardon me. Pardon me. That's because so much shit going on around me. I have to be muting it sometimes. Um, what I was saying is that you talked about Shakur Stevens should be a superstar. I don't disagree necessarily, but he hasn't had the fight to transcend that. He needs to
Right.
have the fight to like all right, the Tank fight. Tank was a star. The Garcia fight for Tank. He was a star. The beating Garcia crossed the threshold to superstardom for him.
Yo, your man just posted on Instagram that he made 100 million, like over the past month. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's a lot
He's
of money out there these days in boxing. It's not how it used to be, and the big
it's
guys is. I don't know if it's cap or if it's
I
not
don't
cap, but there's a lot of
I know
money out there.
I don't think it's cap. I think if you invest your money right, you make 30 mil plus off a fight. You walk away and you do some other things or some other opportunities come to you because you are a superstar. You know, you got superstar is this superstars that's just not in sports. You got superstars in investing in real estate and franchising and all of that. That because you are who you are, the opportunities come to you where you can multiply your money tenfold. So superstar, I think Tank is definitely on a superstar level, and $100 million sound like superstar money to me. Now, when it comes to if you asking me about again back to the three kings, Tank, Devin, Shakur, um, out of all of them, Devin is the most accomplished. But the money maker, like you said, the one who put ass in seats. Even
It's
though
Tank.
Devin, it just came out. Bill Haney just put up on his Instagram because people saying Devin don't sell out. He just sold out the Chase Arena where the Golden State Warriors played. It's sold out now. I think he sold out his last fight. So people say he don't sell out.
Well, I
He's
mean,
putting asses in seats, and
with
he's
him
and
and
he's fighting Regis
Lomachenko,
Prograis.
I would expect to sell out with him and Lomachenko, and the fact that they're fighting in Oakland, where there's the home base or whatever. Even though we know he's really from Las Vegas, but he has roots in Oakland, his family ties. You know, that's gonna help. I mean,
I
would
mean,
he
the
have
zone
sold
did
out?
a hell of a job promoting this fight, though. You can't, you got to admit
No,
that.
I definitely agree. The Zone did a hell of a job promoting the fight. So I mean, why wouldn't it sell out? It should sell out.
For a
What we
fight
have to look
of
at though, what we have to look at is what's the numbers going to do pay per view. That's what really is going to tell a lot. Not so much of
Right.
how
True.
many people went to
True.
the fight, but how many people at home decided that fight was worth spending their $50, $60 on.
But it's impressive for me. The man come from filling up a casino. What was it? Well, was it T-Mobile? I forget. I don't know if they fought at a casino or they fought at T-Mobile. I think it was in Mandalay Bay or one. Not Mandalay. What is that? MGM. Might have been one of those shits. I don't even remember. But I know if it wasn't the T-Mobile arena, they sold out a casino, which I'm not even going to go. I'm not even going to guesstimate how many seats is in there. To selling out a whole arena and not even fighting a fighter like that is as famous as Lomachenko. And no disrespect to Regis Prograis, he's just not on that level. To sell out any arena fighting Regis Prograis shows that you've reached a certain level in your career, bro. So I'm gonna give much props to Bill and Devin and Regis because we can't. The styles make fights, but you need two. It take two to tango. You know what I'm saying? So Regis is the other half of that equation. So
Well,
props to him
we
too.
still got to look at the pay-per-view numbers when it
That's
comes
the
to
next thing. Yeah.
selling out arenas and all that. The reality of it is a lot of fights have sold out the arena but didn't sell every ticket seat. If you understand how that actually
I know,
works.
I know. I get you.
So
I
I
get you.
don't
I
go
get you.
off of. You have to go off of, you can match it. You can say, okay, they sold out the arena, and then look at the pay-per-view numbers. And if they're great, then you say, okay, that makes sense and it matches up. But you can't just go off of selling out the arena. You
Well, we
gotta
could
you
say that.
gotta you gotta
We could say
consider the
that.
pay-per-view buys, because that there's more people who are not gonna be able to make it to that fight, and that's what
Right.
counts. It's how many of those people are gonna. Can you do a 500,000? Can you crack 1 million? You know, can
But
you
we
do
could
a
say that
quarter
about.
million?
We could say that about the other fighters that are putting asses in seats, like the Errol Spencers.
Errol Spence,
Like,
they're also doing pay-per-view numbers though. So
oh,
you can't
hold on. But
use
none of
different,
them, none of them cracked the mill,
because that's
except
not
for.
easy tea. That's not an easy
But this
task.
is, but this is, but this, but I'm just using the barometer you set though. That's all I'm saying.
I said
What
a
I'm,
500,000 is great, to be honest with you. Half a
I'm
million
saying,
pay-per-view
I'm,
buys is great.
I'm saying it is.
250,000 pay-per-view buys is a success. I don't
I
know if
agree
you
with
know
you.
that, because we're not
I
talking
agree.
about
I
heavy.
agree. I agree with you. I'm
Okay.
saying, I'm just saying, I'm not
I used
like
a
in
million
regards to.
as that's not a barometer. I used a million as that was the last number I used because that's a
I'm
great number.
I'm saying in regards to selling out arenas, right? We understand that there are people get comped tickets and seats, and certain celebrities
It's
get tickets off
beyond
the
that.
arm, and
I'm not. It's beyond that. It's beyond
but
just
to
comp. Whole
it's
sections get
still
bought out, fam. Whole sections get bought out.
it's still a hell of a feat for a fight on this level. It's not even like again, this is Devin Haney reaches pro grade. This is not Devin Haney, Tank Davis. This ain't Devin Haney. This ain't Bud Crawford, Errol Spence. This is Devin Haney reaches pro grade. And they sold
I
out the
still
Chase
say, like I
Arena.
said, man, we got to look at the
I'm
pay per
giving
view
them the
buys.
utmost props and respect, both of them brothers, for cause to me that's a success. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, man, we ain't really even get to. You know what? We got to move on real quick. Uh, Ryan Garcia, um, Oscar Duarte. I thought Ryan looked he looked good. He looked decent.
You mentioned in the quick jab that he had room for improvement. I was waiting to hear you say what the room for improvement was. So now that we're here,
Well,
you said he had room for improvement. What do you
it's
see that
still
he should improve?
well, he still has a lot of the flaws that everybody was pointing out before. His chin still in the air. He still fights with his fucking chin all up in the air. He still opportunities for him to get countered, to get punched in between shots. He doesn't really throw a lot of combinations. He still throws like 1-2 shots at a time, trying to get you up out of here. Um, I think his defense. He tried some shit, some version of a shoulder roll that looked really awkward, but it was working for a couple rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude really couldn't hit him clean. It just looked, it just wasn't. It looked weird, but he pulled it off for like 1-2 rounds until Duarte's corner started telling him, double up on the hook, and he started doubling up on that hook, catching him. You know what I'm saying? Clean with a few shots, and it just wasn't working. And you heard in the corner, Derek James told him like, use your legs, man, get back to moving. And Ryan Garcia confessed that at one point, Derrick James said to him, like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you ain't Floyd. You know what I mean? What are you
Right.
doing? Get back to
Right.
moving your legs." So when he started moving again, using his jab, and he let Oscar come to him, he caught him with a nice check hook. Boom, dropped him. You know, I guess no, he didn't drop him, but he dazed him and then kind of hit him with a few more shots to finish him off. He didn't get up in time for the 10 count. Um, but I felt like he still has some of the same holes in his game that he had before Derrick James. But I do see a slight improvement in regards to mindset. He looks a little bit more deliberate. He looks like he looked comfortable, man. It could have been a level of competition too. I'm gonna say that. He looked confident in the ring against Tank too, till he got hit. You know what I'm saying? But I think Derrick James provide a calmness, a steadiness to him and his approach to fighting. I think he's going to improve under Derrick James.
So then,
You
where does
know,
he go from here?
um,
He's been calling out. He's calling out Raleigh next. I hear,
he called out Riley. He
which
did
I
say
think would
people
be
asked
an
him.
easy fight for him. That's low pick. That's picking low fruit right there. He's picking some low fruit right there. Low hanging fruit. Not part of
Yo,
me.
for the right check, I'll fight Riley. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm trying to say is though. That does that change what I just said though? You fighting him
No,
for
I'm
the
not.
right
I'm
check?
not.
Does
I'm
that
not. I'm
change
not
that that
changing it
that
at all. That's
that
what I'm
Garcia
actually agreeing with
is
you.
going after that's probably the hangest low in fruit around that he can find. But
And he's a champion. He got a form of the WBO WBA strap. We got one of the versions of it that
but
people still acknowledge
both
him
of
as a
those
champion
fighters,
on.
I think that they can sell some tickets. Though. I think that's a fight that could sell some tickets. But I'm hearing rumors of a possible Garcia Shakur fight.
Well, I know Shakur. I think I heard something about a catch weight. I don't think Shakur will be down with that. Um, I do. I'm gonna say this though, man. And I'm not knocking Shakur or either guy really. Um, that fight is probably a little bit more competitive than people think, man. I'm gonna say this: Ryan Garcia against Shakur Stevenson. Shakur might be, and I'm saying might because he's been in the ring with Tank. Might be the one. He's definitely one of the best fighters, if not the best fighter he's been in the ring with, right? But it could be Tank. It go either way. But Shakur Stevenson against Ryan Garcia, if I'm being honest,
Hmm.
Ryan Garcia is the best fighter that Shakur Stevenson would have fought up until this point, and he's not even the champion yet.
Yeah, yeah. If he'd have fought Frank Martin, maybe I think Frank Martin beats
Frank
Garcia.
Martin, yeah. If he fought Frank Martin, yeah. Now
Frank
we
Martin.
that's
But
that's
Frank
not let
Martin is
Ken
the
make
one
that
who
claim.
who pulled out of this fight though. But Frank Martin is the one who pulled. I mean, that's a fight that didn't happen, so we're not. I'm not saying that he got that on his resume. I'm just saying Frank Martin is the one who pulled out of that fight.
Pulled it out.
And
Nah,
a fighter
facts.
like Frank Martin, I think, would beat Garcia. This would be absolutely Shakur's biggest payday, though, without a doubt. How competitive I think it would be, I don't think it would be that competitive. I think it would probably look competitive maybe for 2 to 3 rounds. But I think, somewhere between the third and fourth round, we would see the difference in class, which not to go backwards, but when we've seen when Andrade fought Benavidez, what we seen was a difference in class. Benavidez didn't just beat him; he outclassed him, he outmaneuvered him, he outthought him, and then he out hustled him. He was just a whole class above him, and I think that Shakur is a class above Garcia from what we've seen. The irony of it is though Garcia has been in the ring with better competition than Shakur has. But I still see it being an easy victory. It just might look competitive for maybe 1 or 2 rounds. And then again, the Tank Garcia fight looked like it might have been competitive for a round or two.
I think it depends on what weight class they fought at. If Shakur's forced to move up, Shakur's not. I mean, Shakur's still. I mean, he's pause. He got good. He got some size to him. He ain't. But Ryan out here looking like he putting that work in as far as just physically. Like he looks like he's in great shape. He looks big for the division as well. But I think if they fought in and around 140, the fight would be somewhat competitive. I still would pick Shakur to win. Now here's the thing too, man. Shakur will probably have to do something in order for him to look like the way you saying. He would have to fight in the way we not used to seeing him fight. You know what I'm saying? Because
Shakur.
if he yeah, because if he goes in there and does what he did with against Edward De Los Santos, he could possibly get a victory, possibly get a victory fighting in that style. You know what I'm saying? But one, it's gonna be boring as hell. Two, I think Ryan Garcia hand speed is a little bit too much
That
to be
fight
trying
won't look
to.
like that fight.
This is what I'm saying. We would have to see him fight in the style and against the level of fighter he hasn't been in the ring with. Like, you know what I'm
I,
saying?
I understand and I agree with that.
If he fought like that, then I think,
But
yeah.
if he fought the way he fought, see, everything fell on Shakur in that fight because of his trying to be so elusive and trying not to, get hit, almost seeming like he was scared. But I don't think if like people forget that De Los Santos wasn't able to make that a fight. De Los Santos wasn't able to force any issue. So I mean, we keep putting all the blame on just Shakur for that being a boring fight, but Shakur did what Santos allowed him to do.
I hear you. Yeah, I'm putting all the blame on Shakur for that. I'm being honest.
I mean,
De Los Santos wanted to fight. He tried to, but your man, it ain't like he was getting out the way countering. He was jumping damn near halfway across the ring and getting out the way to even throw another shot back. See, it's one thing to, again, I appreciate the sweet science. I don't feel you should stay in the pocket and let people just punch you in your head all day. But if I do expect to see some
it takes
some
two to
skill in
tangle,
the.
man.
Hold on. All I'm saying is Shakur didn't even leave himself opportunities to counter in the midst of him using at great defense, which is what great defensive fighters do. Like you mentioned, Pernell Whitaker, like Floyd Mayweather. Like they wasn't standing in the pocket letting you get hit, but they will make you miss and make you pay. Shakur wasn't doing that, and that's all I'm
I,
saying.
I agree. I agree that Shakur
And he can
was.
absolutely do
I
it.
agree that Shakur is the one who led who led that fight to be such a boring fight. But to sit there and say that it was only boring because of Shakur, it's some bullshit to me, in my opinion, because at the same time, it takes two to tango, and a fighter like Garcia, he can't get that off with. He's not going to be able. Garcia is going to press more of the issue, and a fight like that will make Garcia more confident than what we seen De Los Santos.
Nah, I mean, I guess I can't disagree with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I can't, but I still put more of the onus on Shakur.
You could
Yo, let
put
me get
more of
some
the
of my
onus on
people.
Shakur. The more the onus
Hold
can,
on,
because
hold on,
like I
hold on.
said, Shakur led the charge.
Yeah,
Shakur
just
led that
remind people,
charge.
please jab that like button, uppercut that subscribe button, lead hook that share button, throw a combination at the notification bell, and drop a comment in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? This is Parry. You know what I mean? Yeah, I gotta raise up
Shakur
out of
led
here,
that
brother.
charge though.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. So Devin Haney definitely on the quest to be great. That's clear. Uh, Ryan Garcia, Riley Romero, excuse me. Um, should be entertaining fight. I would rather him fight some other people, but I understand why he's doing that. Uh, I understand why he would call out Riley. It's the quickest route to a championship, and he don't have one. He don't have a world championship on his resume yet,
Right, right.
and that's what he wants to do.
And
So
it'll
I'm
and
all
it'll sell
for it. I'll
tickets. Let's
watch it.
be honest. It'll sell
Nah,
tickets.
yeah, yeah, because they both talk. I mean, Riley talks cash shit. Kenny back, and him and his trainer both though. I ain't gonna lie. Like they both sometimes I'll be like, yo man, shut up, man. Like both these cats need his trainer is
But
trash.
it'll sell tickets though.
Nah, absolutely. It's
And
gonna be
it'll
it's
put
gonna
him
be
in a
interesting while it
position
lasts.
and it'll put him in a position for another big fight. Garcia beats Garcia is 2 fights away from, making people think he deserves another shot with Tank. When you're a popular
I can
fighter
agree with
like
that.
that, you get that.
Yeah, yeah,
You get that
yeah.
benefit.
He beat. So let's say he go out there and he finishes Riley quicker and in better fashion than Tank did.
Hmm.
He maybe one
And then
fight away.
and just dominates him. See, Tank beat
Yeah,
him, but Tank didn't necessarily dominate him. Say he goes out there and just
right.
dogs the shit out of Riley.
Yeah.
and then goes on to have another fight with a spectacular.
Let's say maybe like a Isaac Cruz maybe. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
say he fights Isaac Cruz and just beats him in a more convincing, a more dominating fashion than Tank did. Well, there you go. He's in the argument all over again.
I can see that, and Tank gonna put that boy again. But yeah, any parting words, brother, before we raise up?
Nah, I guess I wanted to speak on this new bridge weight that they're talking about that the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF have. I won't really. You don't got time to get into that, but I will mention it's a little bit ridiculous. You got they're not even all at the same weight. One is starting at 195, I believe. The W was that the IBF, I think, is 155, and the WBA is from 190 to 200 to 225 or 224 or something like that. But I guess that's another conversation for another day. So that's pretty much it. Other than that,
Those to me, those weight classes is gonna be for. It's gonna be for the fighters who they don't like to train and get in great shape. I'm gonna go in there and hit the pads. You know what I'm saying? I may go do a little bit of
what
running.
weight class is the
The bridger weight, the
200 to
bridger weight.
225? They call it the super cruiserweight.
Yeah,
It's called this.
I think only one of those belts is calling the super cruiserweight. I think WBC. No, I forgot which one. Only one of them is calling the super cruiserweight. All the other ones is calling
The
it the bridger weight.
I believe it's the W. I believe the WBA and the IBF are calling it the super cruiserweight. I think it's the WBC that's calling it the bridgerweight.
The bridger weight, right?
It is the
Yeah, they did,
WBC calling it the
but they
bridgerweight.
started it. They started the weight class, the
Yeah, I know.
WBC.
I know, and then the
So
WBA followed suit with the super cruiserweight because they're all in
that
cahoots.
that bridger weight is it's like it's gonna be for the dudes who used to play football. He was a lineman in high school. Didn't make it to college, or didn't make it to the dance. You know what I'm saying? Or to the NFL. So he picked up boxing. That weight class is gonna be for fighters who who picked up boxing late. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
don't
started
know
boxing at
about that.
22.
I don't know. Some of my favorite heavyweights fought around 220 pounds. Some of the greatest heavyweights in the
Those
last
are heavyweights,
era
man. Those are
fought.
heavyweights. Those are still heavyweights. 225, you still a heavyweight.
I
That
said two.
bridger
So,
weight,
220 is a bridgerweight now. You know that, right? 220 is no longer a heavyweight.
that's ridiculous. Cause I mean, fighters like Deontay Wilder won't be able to fight, and that's ridiculous.
I
200
mean,
plus
you
is
don't hear what
heavyweight,
you
man.
don't hear what the issue is. I'm about to say this is not no 190 to 200. This is 200 to 225 pounds we're talking, and 195 to 224 pounds,
I don't
depending on what
support
belt.
that. I need to do
Depending
some more
on what
research
belt.
on that, but I'm not feeling
Yeah,
that.
I just did the research, and I'm telling
I'm
you
not.
now
I'm not.
that
I'm
that
not. I'm not
that
feeling that,
that
man.
this division. That's why they call it the super cruiserweight division because it's in between the heavyweights and the middleweights. So
Man, that's super trash.
you're gonna have smaller heavyweights who might have a better chance to dominate that division than they would have the heavyweight division. Like that's what really you're gonna see. You're gonna see
Nah.
smaller heavyweights make the transition into
So
that
they're gonna be
division.
like, so the next superstar, the undisputed Bridgerweight champion
No,
of the
it's not the
world.
Bridgerweight Championship. It's the Super Cruiserweight. You keep calling it the Bridgerweight.
It
Only
is a
one.
Bridgerweight though.
Listen, only one sanctioning body calls it the Bridgerweight. And that's not how it works. The WBC does not. The WBC has super divisions, right?
Right.
Everybody else has junior divisions. What do we normally go by? Super or junior? When the last time you said super welterweight as opposed to junior middleweight? It's not the Bridgerweight division. It's
I
the
see.
super middleweight.
I
I mean,
look.
super cruiserweight division.
I do alternate depending on what belt they talking about. But the thing is, again, okay, fine. The undisputed super cruiserweight champion. Nah, bro.
Well, we
It don't
get
have
used
the
to it.
same. It
Get
don't.
used to it because
I'm
that's what
not
they're
feeling
doing.
that. The Parry don't co-sign that. We don't
I don't
want that, man.
co-sign
Get
it
that.
either. But
Like
in
my
all
man
fairness,
said.
though, a super heavyweight division wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Like
If
my
you're worrying
man
about size
said.
differences,
Like my man said in minutes, man. That shit don't get no play in my ride. Look, man. I'm good on a super cruiserweight, bridger weight, whatever fucking weight you want to label it as. Like I said, that shit is gonna be a weight class for dudes who started boxing at 25 because they couldn't make the NFL. I'm good,
Apparently,
and
that's not going to be the case, though. You have
and
heavyweights right now that are going to have to automatically be re-registered or reclassified as
not fit.
super cruiserweights.
I
That's
don't
that's
think they
here's
look,
what it
man.
is.
Deontay Wilder is not no super cruiserweight.
Then
That
he's going to
man's a
have to fight
heavyweight.
above 225 pounds or 225 and
I
heavier.
don't think he's gonna have to do that. We'll see. It's probably gonna people
No,
gonna,
what are you
it's also
talking
what the
about?
fighters
What
want.
are you talking about? It's already, it's already official. Like this ain't no, they've already made this. They've already
Look,
like
man,
this ain't
I
this
can't
ain't.
do this. I gotta raise up. We'll
I
talk
get it,
about
but
this. We
I'm
definitely gotta
just
do a
saying,
show
don't
on
go
this.
against the fact though. I wanted to do this
Man,
show about
nah,
that.
I'm not. Look, man, I'm
That's
not.
a
Man,
fact
fuck
though.
that. I'm not feeling
And
it.
we had
I'm
to be
not
on
feeling
top
it.
of the facts here, yo. We can't be on top of our
I'm not
feelings.
feeling it. I'm not
I'm not
feeling
feeling
that
it either,
shit
but this is the Parry,
one
not the.
bit. One bit, bro. Fuck out of here with a nah. I don't want to
Hey,
hear no the undisputed super cruiserweight chip.
you're going to. You're going to though.
This is the Parry. We don't pull or duck no punches, and the Parry is fundamental to boxing. I am your host, Bomani UFG.
I am the pragmatic Shea Budak.
And you know what it is. We'll be back hopefully on Friday for a preview of the Haney Prograis fight. And this weekend we should be doing a live fight party again for the Haney Prograis fight this Saturday, December 9th. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Once again, I'm your brother Bomani UFG, just the pragmatic one, Shade Black, and we up out of here. Peace.
Actually, now we're going to show you how to catch the jab. Actually, in boxing, it's called parrying.